Good evening and welcome back to the MODUS Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Tonight, it's Group B that gets underway. This afternoon, all eyes were on Group C. Chris Mason alongside me to reflect on what we've already seen, and it's Conan Whitehead who leads the way at the halfway stage. Really impressive and dominated that group, didn't he?
Yeah, as we predicted, he was Bookie's favourite for a reason, and he lived up to that expectation, winning all 5 out of 5. His first 4 matches didn't even average under 90. His final game of the day just took his foot off the pedal, but overall a really rock-solid performance.
Yeah, let's have a look then at the overall standings at the halfway point. It is Bradley Roos who's currently in second spot. A really improved day's play from him as well, put in 10-15 points on his average.
Yeah, we sort of expected that might happen when he had the opportunity to just reset and go again, everybody back to 0 points. He tended to do what a lot of players do, and he got bogged down with the situation in Group A, where he just couldn't really get into it. But he's more than into this Group C, and he's in a good position to go on and qualify. I thought Adam Hunt again had a much better day today in terms of performance levels. I have to feel a bit for Jeremy, because I thought he played some good stuff today. Marvin continued to struggle despite picking up 2 games, and Trina, who was involved in a cracking game with Jeremy Fagg that included 6 180s and 1 77. She hit 3 of those. Yeah, she'll maybe feel a little hard done by just picking up the 2 points.
And it says a lot about Adam Hunt, doesn't it, and his experience in this game, that he's been able to put a really poor, by his standards, Group A campaign behind him.
Yeah, I had another chat with him today, and he said, I can't put my finger on why. I said, well, you know, did your form start to drop off coming into it? He went, no, I've been playing well, I've been practicing hard. And that showed at times today. It was a much better performance. He started off with a 91 average. He upped that in the second game, took out finishes of 119 and 138. Wasn't enough against Conan Whitehead.
Yeah, let's have a little look then at the players who are coming into the field this evening. It is Group B that takes our attention this evening. Neil Duff, of course, already qualified for Saturday's finals night. When you cast your eye over those players involved, Johnny Haynes, as you mentioned earlier, we always know what we're going to get from him. But Matthew Dennant's a really interesting one, isn't he? Because he played Joe Cullen on the Pro Tour on Sunday, averaged 103.5, lost 6-2. But he knows he's coming here playing some really good stuff.
Yeah, I knew he was in this week, so I paid a bit of attention to that match just to see what kind of form he's in, and he's obviously playing very well with an average like that, even in defeat. Niall Cullerton at times looked solid enough, but you always feel with Niall that there's another gear to go. Stuart White, who's our ADC representative on debut, I thought he was solid in Group A, so he's going to fancy his chances coming through this one. And as you said, Johnny Haynes always fast and furious, and, well, Andy Jenkins, you never know what you're going to get.
You certainly do not know what you're going to get from Jenks. Right then, let's have a look at what the bookies make of Group B. And it is Matty Dennant who's the favourite to go on and win the group. Does that surprise you slightly? Yeah,
it does, because of his record here. It's not great. He's had some great spells and some great groups, but he's yet to really get over the line and look a potential winner of Champions Week. Johnny Haynes may well be the value there at 10-3, or possibly Niall Cullerton at 15-4.
Yeah, and you touched upon it there. Niall Cullerton has tweeted saying very similar, that there were glimpses of what he's capable of. Hasn't done it consistently yet this week. Do you think this group is going to suit him a little bit better? Because I feel a few players got a bit bogged down in Group A. Yeah,
and I think that was the case, and I think he was one of them. He looked like he was going to try and chase down Neil Duff. Didn't quite work out for him, and he'll be the first to admit he just wasn't consistent enough. But this kind of group is 3 from 5 to get through, so a 60% chance of qualifying, much higher than that of Group A and Group C, of course. So the pressure is slightly off. He'll want to come out tonight, win a minimum of 2 of his 4 matches.
And talk us through your selections when we have a look at Aces Acker for this evening's play. It returns over 10-1. You've gone a bit bigger tonight.
Yeah, well, I like Dennant against White, and that literally is on the back of that blistering performance on Sunday against Joe Cullen. So I've done him in the handicap, so 4-2 or better at 4-5. Johnny Haynes, most 180s versus Jenks. The stats point to that, that's for sure, at 15-8. White versus Haynes, again, Haynes most 180s at 5-4 pays over 10-1. And again, if we just look at all the stats that we have in terms of 180s hit per leg, it's Johnny Haynes that comes out on top in both of those.
Right then, very intrigued to see how this evening's action unfolds. Chris Mason is going to sprint down to the commentary box to join Henry Deacon.
Thank you very much, Abby, and a very good evening, everyone, and welcome along to Group B action here at the MODUS Super Series. Counter it as a bit of a darty after party. And we send our congratulations to Michael van Gerwen for picking up the Premier League title tonight, defeating Gerwin Price by 11 legs to 5 in the final. Meanwhile, here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, Andy Jenkins, the king of Cosham. Yes, he's back. He filled in for us last Friday following the injury sustained to Sven Verdonk, which meant that he couldn't continue action here at the Super Series. He takes on Niall Cullerton, the 35-year-old from Kilkenny in Ireland, the Republic of Ireland WDF team captain. And will be looking to kick on today and tomorrow. It was a disappointing end to his Group A campaign. He was the main protagonist to Neil Duff to pick up those Group A honours, but it just unravelled a little bit for him towards the tail end of that particular day. And guess who's back? It's Danny Mack refereeing the evening's proceedings, and alongside me here in the commentary box, hello, Chris Mason.
99.
Good evening, Henry. Well, we had a interesting Group C this afternoon, and this has the potential to be a little less one-sided,
25.
I think.
First things first, Niall Cullerton. Have a look at the flight and stem combination.
99.
Now, he did actually say to me earlier on this evening they are all in one flight and stem combinations, and he's decided to, well, go multicoloured.
43.
There's an Irish element to that. Yep, they're the moulded stem and flight. Had a chance to
96.
spend a good 10 minutes or so with Jenks. He's in good spirits. Looks like he's been catching the sun on the building site.
100.
Don't see many roofers and on-site people without tans these days, do you? Whatever.
41.
Well, that was a bit of a Fujian slip there, leaving himself on 166. That slip into the single one. Just needed to keep that last one straight.
68.
Oh, he's also left himself on a bogey. So Andy with 6 darts to lead 1-0.
Yeah, more bogeys than Dick and Dom's bungalow.
92. 27, and he requires 74.
For a hold. 20 and tops. How's the finishing?
Game shot on the first leg.
Okay,
Andy
will
Jenkins.
be the answer to that particular question. It is Jenks who leads by a leg to nil against Niall Cullerton. Jenkins who
Second leg, Niall to
will be hoping to
Rover.
progress his way through to
Game
the
on.
final, mainly because he will bring an army of fans of him, the local boy, the local favourite, local celebrity, Andy Jenkins.
The king of Cosham.
140.
The undisputed king of Cosham and surrounding areas.
Yeah, there ain't many people that don't know him,
28.
that's for sure.
$60.
I was mentioning on your way down to the comms box on the balcony.
100.
Many congratulations to Michael van Gerwen. Very impressive in his Premier League victory early on tonight against Gerwin Price.
Yeah, it was a bit of a demolition job in the end, wasn't it?
60.
11-5. In the early stages of it, I know Gerwin in the interview with
99.
Emma afterwards was obviously disappointed and felt like he did nothing particularly right. But at 7-3, I think it was, he was averaging 104.
100.
Just unfortunately for him, MVG was averaging 108 at that time, and when he's in that kind of mood and vein of form, he can be a little unplayable.
59. Now you require 141.
Without question, beating 2 of the 3 key players in World Darts on the same night, Michael Smith, and without doubt the player of the Premier League, Gezi Price,
129.
and the player of the moment, really, in terms of form and averages.
Gives us a nice little subplot for the rest of the year now as we enter the
140.
World Match Play in July. That's going to now be the next big one on the horizon.
Well, on the back of winning the Premier League last year, he, of course, went on to beat Gezi Price in a brilliant final at Blackpool.
Games on the second leg, Niall Cullerton.
Is it darting deja vu for MVG?
Game on.
US Darts Masters, of course, next weekend. And then the World Cup.
60.
All pairs World Cup as well.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. Cannot wait.
85.
Have a look. Side on. There we go. Rock solid. Lovely throw. And again, it's not changed over the years. There's some
100.
footage of him playing on the big stage as a youth player, and the throw is pretty much identical.
125.
Welcome to all of our viewers around the world on YouTube. Also, all of our
140.
UK viewers will be watching on Sporty Stuff TV. For those of you that are social media users, if you want to get in touch with any comments or questions, Henry's got the @MSS Darts Twitter app open, so you'll be directing to the commentary box.
97. Now you require 100.
Keep them fun, keep them clean, and we will keep tabs of your comments over the course of the evening.
Any good ones, we'll read them out. And don't forget, if you want to join us here on Saturday night, you've got one of them QR code scanners on your phone. Get that ready. We'll put that up at the end of this leg.
56.
If you don't have that facility, head over to www.dartshop.tv. It's just a £2 booking fee, and you can join us here on Saturday night. Love to see you.
Games on the third leg.
And we'd love to see darts like that by Niall Cullerton. 15 dart breaker throw to lead Andy Jenkins 2-1. That's the said QR code there, which you can scan
to throw first. Game on.
Get yourself to any Saturday night within the next few months. Champions Week finals nights on the 5th of August, and tickets are available for every single Saturday night until then. £2 booking fee, and it is free drinks for £10.
98. $99.
Have a day out on the south coast. Come and enjoy some darting action in a very unique venue and atmosphere. Right on top of the action.
Yeah, and you are literally a stone's throw away from the players. You can hear everything. 100. You can feel everything.
Andy will be feeling under the cosh here.
140.
Great, 140. He's averaging over 90 here, Jenks.
100. And you require 164.
Looking to hit straight back.
$34.
That will not.
Now you require 107.
And so Cullerton, to consolidate the break that he accrued in the previous leg, wants 107 to open up a 3-1 advantage. Not going to happen this time, and so Jenkins will come back for the 130.
59.
Just the one treble needed for a shot at the bull.
30.
Cullerton sat poised on 48.
Liking the Andy Jenkins shirt. I think that might be from the
85.
The new Red Dragon range.
Now you require 48.
It's nice.
Yeah, we saw Neil Duff wearing something similar early on in the week.
Games on the
as Cullerton sinks Tots to a 3-1 lead. We've seen this a few times from Cully this week.
Yeah, he's sort of playing pretty much the type of how he played. His Super Series running average is around 86, isn't it? Which is exactly where he's at right now.
100.
Priority tonight, as I was saying, with Abby on the balcony at the top of the show, is winning at least 2 of your 4 games.
41.
Anywhere around 8 points, 10 points is usually enough to secure your place in Saturday night's final. Neil Duff already there, winner of Group A.
140.
It's a fourth 140 for Andy. Twice as many as Niall, but Niall with nearly 3 times as many
45.
scores of between a ton and 139.
$83.
It's been a slow start to this leg for Cullerton, and so Jenkins has got all the time in the world to bring it back to 3-2. Cullerton, though, would have the darts in the 6th to seal the deal.
I mean, this was very much a pick-em game for me. I thought this had 6, possibly 7 legs in it.
98.
The odds on the match, they went 4-5, Jenks, 10-11, so very much a pick-em game.
There's a fair few of tonight's
140.
matches here in the group. An interesting group on display, that is for sure. It should be a dart at tops for Jenks. Indeed, it's going to be for 15 and for 3-2. He pulls one back, but this is the crucial leg now for Cullerton, because this is the one he has the darts in to seal the match and to claim a 4-2 opening success to his Group B campaign.
Well, there was a key feature to his play in Group A. And in last leg shootouts, he produced some of his best leg performances. A few times he'd get embroiled, go to a last leg, and then produce a 12, a 13, or a 14.
$45.
Jenks just trying to stick with him here. Can he steal the darts with a 140?
140.
He absolutely sighted that spot of the treble 20 and just plonked it in. 2 on the doubles, Jenks.
125.
If he's getting a go, he's reliable.
Despite that 1-2-5 from Cullerton, Jenkins has stolen the dart. 6 on 2-2-4. And he's making a huge indent in this leg. 2 ton 3-7s, sandwiched in the middle of that at 140, leaving 87 after 9. A potential 11 dart leg to send us all the way to a decider in what has been a high quality opening match to our evening session.
And Jenks will get the darts in the decider if he can find the ball.
48.
Weight of dart was fine.
Now you require 106.
The line wasn't. Treble 18. Could stay there because it was a good marker, but finds the treble 18 for double 16.
74.
A long way off.
And you require 39.
Match start come and gone for Niall Cullerton, and so Jenkins returns to 39 to send us all the way to a decider. Double 16 to take us all the way. It's a double that Cullerton has just missed for the match, but he's going to come back for more to seal the deal in this opening game of the group. Cullerton, who missed out to Neil Duff in terms of Group A glory.
16.
Is still to cross the line in his first match of Group B, and Jenkins returns to send us all the way.
In hand, and this is a bonus. He wouldn't have been expecting a go. Can he take advantage?
Game on the 6th
Sure
leg,
can.
Andy Jenkins.
That is the break back. Back-to-back legs, and he will have the throw here.
Seventh
in the
and
7th
final leg,
and
Andy
deciding leg.
Throw first. Game on.
4 missed darts for the match for Niall Cullerton. Is that going to come back and cost him in the end game?
42.
However, Jenkins has come up dry with his opening visit, opening up the door of opportunity for Niall Cullerton.
83.
Crucial last treble for the Irishman.
99. 60. 43.
Door open again for Cullerton. You just get the sense this is the kind of last leg where maybe one treble visits could well be enough.
41.
Well, the treblers' visits are becoming endemic. Down to someone to try and take authority of this last leg.
100.
Ton means that Cullerton needs to find a couple of trebles here.
There's one of them. Doesn't follow.
95.
Finds a trouble. Oh, the wrong one.
He's himself on the Benno. It leaves the door open for Jenkins.
97.
Will do. 3 from 7 on the doubles for Jenks.
85. And
3
you
from
require
12
120.
for Niall Cullerton. This is the much easier finish of the two.
100.
Tidies
Now
up
you require
nicely.
137.
Trouble 19, tops, I presume.
Tops it is. Another one of them to finish in
Hey,
style
shot.
for
And
Niall
a
Cullerton
Niall
to get the
Cullerton.
better of Andy Jenkins by 4 legs to 3. A showbiz finish appreciated by his opponent and a quality way to start our round of matches for tonight. A 4-3 victory for Cullerton, averaged just under 84. 4 out of 13 on the doubles, including that fantastic 1-3-7 to finish. Right, next up is Matt Dennant in action. The first time we've seen the Scholar this week. He takes on Stuart White.
Matt Dennant and Stuart White up next tonight. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Dennant averaged in excess of 103 against Joe Cullen in Leicester on Sunday, defeated 6-2, but some very good signs of encouragement coming into this. His overall average here at the MODUS Super Series isn't too shabby either, close to 89. His finishing stats up around the level we expect from players who've played the amount of games he has here. Will he add another one here? Let's get back to comms to find out.
Thank you very much, Abby. Yeah, he's been one of our best performers, hasn't he, over the last couple of years, Matt Dennant. He's played so well. Maybe the one slight criticism we could have when it comes to Matt Dennant is, as well as he's played, he maybe hasn't achieved as much as maybe his talent would suggest that he should have in this competition.
Yeah, absolutely. I've known Matty for a long, long time, and when I lived in the West Midlands, practiced a lot at the early stages as he was making the transition across into a tour card holder and Pro Tour player. But when he is on,
58.
He is very much on. Very, very good player. As shown with a running average of close to 89 over a huge sample. In terms of running averages, that's right up there with some of our best performers.
140.
He performs to those levels in this group. There's probably no doubt about his place on Saturday night.
125.
As for Stuart White, we still feel there's gears to go with him, but we were impressed with what we saw over the first 3 days.
Yeah, I thought
99.
For someone on debut, I thought he took to it very, very well, and especially a player coming back off the dreaded dartitis as well. It took a fair bit of guts, I can assure you, to get up there under the lights, knowing the cameras are seeing every second of every visit.
190.
Didn't have to wait long for our first max in this one.
That first cry of the night from Danny McNamara is going to be closely followed by a second. But that 180 might be in vain because Dennant was double 12 for 13.
No score.
Or maybe not.
Stuart requires
And that
60.
can be his Achilles heel from time to time.
Game shot of the first leg, Stuart White.
Stuart White, which was a bit of a theme in Group A. You make a mistake, he punishes. 14 dart break of throw.
Second leg, Stuart to throw first. Game on.
Hanging on the coattails of Matt Dennant's impressive start and then picking up the pieces when Dennant missed.
59. 55. 40.
Yeah, White are ADC qualified. Qualified via the Vault program of events down in the southeast from the Banbury area. And if you fancy yourself as a up-and-coming player or someone that wants to dust the darts out after a little while away, you can sign up to that Vault series by heading over to dartcircuit.co.uk, finding your local event, whether it's just for a little bit of fun, something to do during your midweeks, or maybe you fancy taking the game a little bit more seriously where before maybe you didn't. That is a perfect avenue just to test the waters and kind of see where your game's at. And if you perform well in that, you could well be here.
Yeah, no worrying about playing on a circuit for a year to get a ranking. That is the
58.
short course way of qualifying for a TV event. Matt Stad owns the King's Head pub in Walsall.
59.
Sure Gary is tuning in. Hope you're well, pal. So Matt's got no excuse not to practice.
No doubt this is probably on in the TV there.
Yeah, absolutely. I should imagine it is.
Would have had
It's very much a an indoor
100.
sports
Match
pub
require
known for its pool and its
136.
darts teams.
96.
So I wonder where they got our
100.
conch or they got the jukebox on over the top. I know what the logical choice would be. Is the logical choice tops to Stuart White? Well, that was what he was going for. Couldn't quite
60.
get there in the end, and so
Match
Denham
require
back to
40.
level proceedings up at 1 apiece. Wanting that target at
Inch on the
tops,
second leg,
finding that
Matt
target at
Dennett.
tops.
Yeah, that will make him feel a whole lot better. It's the break back. Here's the
Turning Matt
bonus.
to throw first. Game on. $85. $180.
Third of the match. His second.
100.
Now, Jeremy Fagg missed the double for the 9 earlier, but Stuart White isn't going to continue. I know, I've done it again.
Bit premature there,
60.
Henry. Yeah, he missed the double 12 for the 9, didn't he? Love to have seen that go in.
60.
Conor Heenahan. Is it the only 2 we've had here at the all-new Modus Live Lounge?
Well, the amount of games we've done together recently, we
91.
haven't had one together.
I know. Players are just not playing ball.
We build them up and then they just knock themselves down.
120. Stuart require 170.
120 with one on the floor. Seen a 170 this week from young Bradley.
44. Match require 136.
Also seen this 136 go this week. That was by Stuart White.
82. Stuart require
Seen that.
126.
164 from Adam Hunt. Ball.
101.
Ooh, very close.
Match require 54.
How's a wire grazer? Tots for Denon. Now double 10.
Game on the
The 2-1.
Matt Dennett.
And after those 3 missed darts at double in the opening leg, he has responded to some tune to lead Stuart White by 2 legs to 1.
To throw first. Game on.
Yeah, he's 2 out of 3 since those missed doubles in leg 1. Wow.
180.
3 in 4 legs. Well, 3 and a bit.
190.
This is getting a little bit silly now. In terms of Stuart White scoring visits, 4 tons, 0 140s,
59.
3 180s.
Very much the case. All or nothing.
85.
There have been 5 maximums in this game so far. We're seeing a high quality standard so far this evening. We thought this Group B was going to deliver some great darts, and we still haven't even seen Johnny Haynes yet.
42.
We're seeing some magnificent things under the Live Lounge roof.
And he loves a max, doesn't he?
You just know if it's a session involving Johnny Haynes,
45.
the quality is going to be good. I'm talking about quality, that was good. How impressive was Conan Whitehead? 5 games early on this afternoon. He won all 5 of them, and every average, bar none, was above
60.
the 90 mark.
$95. Stuart require 160.
Currently, Matty Dennant not far off of his Modus
90.
Super Series running
Match require
average.
96.
Just shy of 90. Trouble 20. Ooh, would have left 2 8.
56.
So you just
Stuart
have to
requires
stand back
70.
and watch this 70.
He'll be watching patiently and nervously now.
Game shot on the fourth
And
leg.
he is going to see
White.
Stuart White level this game up at 2 apiece. When he's been given opportunities at the double, Stuart White, he's taken them.
50% on his doubles, 2 from 4.
Game on.
Matty Dennett, 2 from 6, 33.33%, which is pretty much par.
140. 42.
As I say, it's a rare slip of a visit there from Stuart White.
140.
It's been a very good standard of match so far.
120. 100.
Excellent from Dennett. Back-to-back 140s, followed by a ton, leaving 1-2-1 after 9. And he's going to have a multitude of opportunities with Stuart White languishing back in the 300s.
41. Match require 121.
And just outside the 300s after 9. So went 25 first to himself on 96.
69.
He'll come for 52 after 12 to open up a 3-2 lead.
$98. Match require 52.
Potential 14 data
Game shot on
for
the
Matt
fifth leg.
Dennett to open up a
Matt
3-2 lead. That was a quality leg that from Matt Dennett. That was textbook stuff on the scholar.
6-leg Stewart to throw first. Game on.
A couple of Super Series regulars down in Stevenage tomorrow night, starting off the bank holiday weekend.
100.
A dual promoted show between MODUS and MDA events. Kevin Painter,
140.
Johnny Clayton, Gezi Price, Fallon Sherrock, and Nathan Gervin in action. And the great showman himself, Bobby George.
86.
All the details for that at mdaevents.co.uk or dartshop.tv.
100.
While you're there, get yourself a ticket for here Saturday night. You can have a real bumper darting weekend.
And you can see some bumper darts.
140.
That's a first 140 of the game for Stuart White, but that's usually because it's been sandwiched by a multitude of 180s.
140.
Great reply. Down to 1-2-1. They'll be back to try and win it in 12 with an average
96.
in the mid-90s.
121.
This has been a proper performance from Matt Dennett, and he could finish it off in some style. Has a little look across at the scoreboard, readjusts, but he cannot find an 11. A single would have left the ball, the treble would have left double 14, but he attacked the treble, found the treble 8. And so it's all about setting up from this particular point.
89. Stuart requires 79.
When he paid the price of chasing the treble and not making sure of the dart of the ball. Oh, that was risky. Tell you why it was risky, because if it hit the single 13, it would have had to have been 16 and ball.
32.
To finish with a flourish.
No score.
Not to be.
Oh, he moved right
Stuart
to try and create
20.
the angle. And the dart went straight between the other two. Yeah, again, and we're going to see Stuart White just hanging in.
On the 6th leg, Stuart White.
Does just that. Takes us all the way.
Out of 14 legs we could have possibly played, we have played 14.
Seventh
It's been the
and
trend for the
final leg
week.
Matt to throw first.
Sleep's overrated.
Game on.
Yet another 2
134.
treble visit from Matt Dennett. He might as well just play that line on repeat because that's all he's tended to have done in this game.
125.
Well, he's not panicked or got disheartened at any point or berated himself. He's just stuck to the task.
57.
They're both quite similar, actually, in that respect, where they just let whatever happens, happens. They don't try and get themselves too high and too low.
134.
And they're both thrown as good as they can get.
85.
Is that a little slip that may open the door for Stuart White?
$44.
Going to be 6 and 2-2-5 for Denon. Gotta think about it.
94.
He's himself on 1-3-1 after 12.
How much pressure can White apply? Well, there's going to be enough. In fact, there's plenty.
134. Match require 130.
This may have to go. It's not going to. And so Stuart White should at the very least have one match dart
55.
to get the better of Matt Denon.
Georgia requires 64.
And a solid performance from both. 25 scores of a ton or more, and he's found the 48, 2 at double 8. Can he use that as a bit of a guide?
Game.
He certainly can.
And the match, Stuart White.
And Stuart White with a 15-dart breaker throw picks up a bit of a shock win. Denon was the big 2-7 favourite for that one. Stuart White a 5-2 dog, but he gets it done with a beautiful 15-dart leg. When we come back after a short break, Johnny Haynes in action against Andy Jenkins.
Our third match of the session sees Johnny Haynes and Andy Jenkins go head-to-head. Jenks did well to force a decider in his opener before narrowly missing out a sublime 137 from his opponent when he was left on double 10. As for Haynes, a weekly winner back in January, also made finals night in March. To see how he starts his latest campaign, let's return to Mace and H.
Well, thank you very much, Abby, and it is the long-awaited return to action at the Super Series for Johnny Haynes. We're really looking forward to seeing the 58-year-old from Swindon in action, the punk. And he has shown some real good signs here at the Super Series in 2023. Winner of Week 11 in Series 2. He actually got the better of a man who already qualified for Saturday night's final in Neil Duff in that particular final, and then returned to the Saturday night scene in his previous appearance, as Abby rightly said, back in March. And, well, the way he has been playing, he's played a lot of stuff locally, and all the reports that I've heard have been nothing short of, well, quite frankly, ridiculous. But that's been the standard Johnny Haynes has played at for a number of years.
Yeah, always been a player that plays in lots of local opens. And just to echo your statements, starts with a max.
101.
Only issue is it can only get worse from here for Johnny Haynes.
Oh, I say not if he follows it.
60.
But you were right.
Even a broken clock is might try. What?
85.
Sounds like you're broken, mate.
60.
I could see white jackets and straight jackets from behind.
That's the Super Series for you.
85.
If anyone had the bingo card on when I'd crack, now's the time.
140.
180, 60, 60, 140. And a 61 after 12. Jenks not too far behind.
25 for 36.
Game shown on the first
15 dart opener
Haynes.
for Johnny Haynes. It's just what he does.
Yep, tidy start that. And the rumours of him being
Sailing
in
Andy to throw first.
fine form, being backed up there. And he played okay in that
82.
opening match. Had a higher average than Niall Cullerton, despite losing 4-3. Averaged 88.12, 3 from 7 on the doubles.
140.
In fact, had a higher average than Stuart White, who defeated Matty Denon. He's up against a
140.
different animal here in Johnny Haynes. Trying to respond.
45.
Haynes, who we saw at the WDF World Championship last year. He won the Last Chance Saloon qualifier for that event at Frimley Green. He lost out to the #1 seed in that competition, Brian Verman, friend of ours here at the Super Series.
Fine
85.
player is Brian. Hope you're well, pal. Sure you're tuned in.
There'll be a message.
140.
Does watch a lot of the Super Series. I think a lot of players I speak to just have it on during their practice sessions.
100. And you require 40.
13 data to level up.
30.
Oh, that was almost too close.
130.
The dart on the outside wire of double 10. Oh, top stops.
91. And you require 10.
Just to clarify, he can find tops. He gets it for the second dart, but Andy Jenkins there. A 16 darts at the level proceedings up at 1 apiece. Good quality game. 15 followed by a 16.
Third leg Johnny to
players averaging in the
game on.
high 90s.
Well, sometimes we look at a group and we think that there's a certain amount of players that can feed off each other. And in the case of this group, we thought that was just so totally the case. We knew the 3 players coming in was such quality, and you felt that Niall Cullerton would fit into the groove of this group. And Stuart White, 86, 84 average in that opening win against Matt Dennant. This is shaping up to be what could be a real vintage Group B.
99.
Well, it's got all the ingredients.
$125.
The amount of two treble visits we've seen so far this evening has been absolutely incredible.
$44. $100. $94.
So Haynes first to a finish. 1-2-4 after 12.
$100.
And he's going to be kept under close measure by Jenkins. Treble 18. Would have given him a poke at the bullseye. So Jenkins here.
53.
Worst case scenario, should get a dart at tops.
76.
He's going to get the best prize. That's 2 at double 8. Finds double 8. That's a 14 for Andy Jenkins to break the throw of Johnny Haynes to lead 2-1.
Yeah, great reaction this from Andy.
Game on.
The proverbial kitchen sink thrown at him so far in this match.
Well, have a look at these averages.
100.
Ton on the nose of Jenkins. 92.8 for Johnny Haynes.
$100. $60.
Yeah, clean the darts landing the board from that shot.
$85.
2 players whose setup has not changed over the years. There's the Peter Wrights of the world, but there's also players like Andy and Johnny who
87.
know a set that works. They're faithful to them, and so they are faithful back. The amount of 180s he's hit with that set over the years is probably countless.
100. Johnny require 136.
I've seen a 137 hit against Jenkins from Niall Cullerton earlier. The 136 is not going to join that particular collection.
100. Andy require 100.
Needs himself, though, on double 18 after 12. The 154 is not going to go for Jenkins even. So to get the break back and to level us up at 2 apiece, Johnny Haynes is looking at double 18. And following that 134 setup from Jenks, this may have to go. Double 9. He's decided to split and go for 10 double 4. Now, he does have this penchant to split for double 4. Does so in a big, big scenario. It comes up trumps. He levels up at 2 apiece. Jenkins shaking his head, almost in disbelief in the background.
125.
Yeah, any opportunity, he will split. Leave that double 4. We see him do it on
100.
10 so frequently, don't we?
Yeah, he was kind of the first player that really, at least here at the Super Series anyway, kind of brought that to our attention. We now see it. The likes of Jared Cole, Keelan Kay. Been something definitely adapted more by younger players, but it was Johnny Haynes that kind of was the trailblazer in that kind of model.
60. 81.
was going to say, this has been a quite quieter leg to the tune that this match has been going. And then Johnny Haynes racks up a 140.
80. Johnny requires 76.
And he's still left himself a lot to do here if he gets a go at 140. But tops to lead. Tops he gets back to back. 15 dart legs. Just when we thought that maybe having a bit of an upset on our hands,
6-leg Andy.
Johnny Haynes has
Game on.
up the levels.
Such has been the quality in this game. There's only been one leg above the 5 visit mark, and that was a 16.
Yeah, longest leg of the match. Well spotted. Opening leg was a 15. 16 from Andy, followed by a 14, and then back-to-back 15s.
And it leaves us with these averages.
59.
Absolutely stunning.
The checkouts don't look too bad either. 3 from 5 and 2 from 5 respectively.
60.
And you get the sense the action is just beginning to hot up.
100.
Was a much needed travel.
And the reason why Jenkins's average is around that is
45.
because of the amount of ton pluses he's accrued in this game. 12 in total.
41.
Although he waves his hands in the air, running that 41.
44.
He's going to get 6 from 201 to, well, guess what? Send us all the way again.
139.
Certainly looking that way now, mate.
We've never seen all 70 legs in a night. We may well today.
140. And he requires 62.
The Hill once again. It's going to be 216 for Jenkins.
46.
Not to
And
be.
he requires 112.
And so Johnny Haynes to get his campaign off to a perfect start. 112 can still be done. Treble 19 would have left him a dart at the bullseye, and so Jenkins returns to send us to a decider.
16.
One left.
Games on the 6th.
Sneaks in, finds it, uses those first 2 darts as a lovely guide, and we go all the way once again.
7th and final leg, Johnny.
Advantage still with
Game
Johnny Haynes. He has the honour in the 7th and deciding leg.
100.
If Jenkins loses this one, he'll feel like tonight he's walked into one.
$100.
Haynes just trying to turn his way down to a finish.
134.
134 on the back of the 45 just means that Jenkins can keep tabs with Haynes.
100.
That is a 3rd ton in a row. This would be so typically Johnny Haynes if he finishes this with 4 tons and a 101 out.
140.
Jenkins hanging on by his fingernails at the moment.
134.
Those fingernails are being scratched down the bottom of a chalkboard.
81. Johnny requires 67.
His hopes are in the hands of Johnny Haynes, who is going to get 1 dart at tops to win it, but 1 dart that's not found.
101.
And Andy produce our first ton plus out of the match. He had one hit against him. The 134.
26.
Sorry, the 137, wasn't it?
40.
Treble 19 top stops from Cullerton denied Andy.
They're going to be a tots for Johnny Haynes to deny Jenkins this time. Double 10 to get the game won. And Johnny Haynes seals a 4-3 success. And it's the second time in 2 matches this evening that Jenkins has been ousted in a decider. Another quality contest. Andy Jenkins has had averages of 88 and 90 this evening. And he's got no points on 2 matches. As for Haynes, that was his first game of the evening. A really good base to build upon. 89.95 the average. 4 for 9 when it came to the doubles. And after the break, we got Niall Cullerton in action up against Matt Dennant.
Niall Cullerton got off to a winning start tonight thanks to a superb 1-3-7 out in a decider against Jenks a little while ago. Can he build on that against Matt Dennant, a player he's faced before? That was at Q School back in 2022. Dennant was the 6-4 winner on that occasion. To find out whether it'll be repeat or revenge, let's get back to Henry Deacon and Chris Mason.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. Well, we have been treated to a real good night of darts here at the MODUS Super Series. In fact, over the course of the evening, Niall Cullerton actually has the lowest average so far, and that was an 83.97 in beating Andy Jenkins in the opening game of the evening. He did that with that brilliant 137 checkout. I think that's going to be something on the highlights reel for a long time to come. As for Matt Dennett, well, he played really well, but Stuart White just came up with something clutch at the right times to get the better of him by 4 legs to 3. In fact, we have played every single leg possible. 21 we could have had, 21 has been played, which has meant a lot of darts for that man to referee. Danny McNamara, the 3rd man on stage this evening.
83.
Yep, standard so far. And very good indeed.
140.
3 enjoyable matches. Have literally gone back and forth.
100.
In darts, that has left you wondering as to what's going to happen next.
125. 81. 100. 66. Match require 136.
In terms of odds, where did they go with this one, Henry?
They had Noel Cullerton at 6-5.
60.
Matt Dennett 8-13 on to get the job done in this particular battle.
And what we've seen so far, I suppose that's about right.
95. Match require 76.
Double 18.
40. Nolly requires
Likes that area of the board, does Matt Dennett. As for Noel Cullerton, it'll be his go to go for that 76, although he's not going to have the same joy as Dennett. But he recovers very well indeed to give himself 1 dart at double 8.
60. Match requires
Double which isn't found, and so Dennett will return. And he doesn't need a second opportunity, does the scholar. 16 darter, 1-0 he leads against Noel Cullerton.
Second leg, Matt to throw first. Game on.
Matty would be keen to just get a win on the board. Self and Jenks. Only 2 without a win so far.
85.
Next up, Stuart White against Johnny Haynes, and we'll be halfway through the session.
60.
So in 13 legs time.
Yeah, correct.
83. 60. 59.
Although judging by the way that Dennett started in this one, this may be done a little bit quicker than 4-3 because he's got out the traps quite well. As for Cullerton, he kept pace in the opening leg, but not so much so in the second, although a couple of trebles would change that fact.
60. Match
Well, he's
require
got 6 at
142.
142 for 2-0. May only need 3. Oh, needed the ball for double 16.
102.
Right, there's a 16 darter in leg 1. He's looking to replicate that here, leg 2.
85. Match require 40.
Double 10.
Games on the second leg, Matt.
2-0 he leads. 2 legs, 1 in 6 visits.
Yeah, backs up the break in leg 1 with a hold.
Third leg, Niall to throw first.
Big weekend
Game
of
on.
boxing as well. Saturday night. Horrible situation. 3
43.
different fights on 3 different cards. Well, not too far from here in Bournemouth. Coley against Chris Billum Smith. Lopez against Conlon. And Lara against Wood.
100.
That's a lot of different screens you're going to need on Saturday night.
Yeah, I don't quite know how I'm going to manage that yet. I might be on the hunt for a few laptops.
180.
Take a max for Dennant. I'm sure there's a couple of shops nearby that will help you in that hunt.
60.
I've got 3 in here. Oh, that's a lovely dart.
140.
And a third. Backs up the max with a 140 down to 124 after 9. And a turn on the style here.
Metro War 124.
Playing a little bit like a dream here, Matt Dennant. Doesn't have to go the ball if he doesn't want to.
Final Premier League football matches as well, isn't it, this weekend?
Means a couple of months off for myself.
Yep.
Well.
59.
A couple of Saturdays and Sunday afternoons off.
Oh, unlucky, just the other side into the...
Well, it's 69 left, so he's not going to be going 19 ball. Could go 45-24. Oh, double 6.
72.
Well, judging by the pattern of play in this match, it's the 6th visit of the leg for Matt Dennant, so it probably means he's going to find the double. Case in point, 3-0 he leads, the double break accrued, and well, making quite light work, it has to be said, of Niall Cullerton at the minute.
Yeah, he's doing a bit of a job on him.
Fourth leg match.
Reduced Niall to just 1 dart at a double in the whole match so far.
And not many players do that to a player of the stature and status of Niall Cullerton.
140.
But he may be slowly but surely here, Matt Dennant, despite losing that first game to Stuart White, emerging as the player of the evening so far. Averaged 90 in that game,
100.
averaging 93 here. 3 out of 7 when it's come to the doubles, and his 2 treble hitting has been up there with the best of them tonight.
55.
In terms of level of performance, he's up there with what Conan Whitehead produced today.
81. $121.
Just missed the... Well, the minimum there was a 25 to leave him on a finish. The ball would have been a bonus. As it is, still got 6 at 185.
$95.
He's himself on 94 the match. Cullerton can only try and leave as handily poised as possible.
45.
But he can't do that, and so it is going to be another 6 for Dennant to get the job done. Bull for tops to win with a little bit of a fanfare. A 14-darter to finish for Matt Dennant. A hugely impressive performance for Matt Dennant. A 4-0 victory against Niall Cullerton. An average just a shade under 94. 2 maximums and 4 out of 8 when it came to the finishing. Really impressive stuff from the scholar, who is putting out a little bit of a statement for the field. Right, coming up after this short break, it is the middle match of the evening session, which sees Stuart White in action up against Johnny Haynes.
Well, we've seen a number of impressive displays so far tonight, and Johnny Haynes is responsible for one of them. We can have a look at some of his all-time stats here at the Super Series. An impressive running average, close to 86. That's very solid indeed, and a pretty decent checkout rate too. He was 4 from 9 on the outer ring in his opener tonight as well, to see if he can move on to 4 points in the table. Let's get back to our commentary team.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah, and a very impressive 104 maxes. And that will be going up this evening. That's no doubt, that's for sure. Loves a max. So does this man. He's already hit 3 this evening in his opening match. This could be another high quality affair, Henry.
To throw first.
Yeah, I think we have high hopes and high expectations for this. Johnny Haynes, who we've been, well, to nick a line from Glenn Darren, waxing lyrical about all week, and he showed glimpses of that in that victory against Andy Jenkins for Stuart White. Well, he's growing and growing in stature as the week goes along.
Yeah, been impressed with how he's taken to life in the Super Series. Certainly think he'll be one of those that will be given an invite back for another run
60.
out.
Reminds me a little bit of a David Davis, who first time here, didn't see much of him in other places, but grew into it, got a second invitation, and was better the second time, was David. I think Stuart could be one of those players that maybe, as time goes on, we could work with here at the Super Series, help improve.
40.
David Davis has translated that form from the Super Series over to the Vault in the ADC, a continual winner
100.
back in Wales. He'll probably qualify himself a couple of times for the Super Series.
Of course, all I knew of Stuart, of course, was his appearances at the UK Open. Pops in, yeah, another max.
60. Sure to require 87.
87 to get the opening leg done in the space of 5 visits.
55. Johnny require 141.
Well, he said that Johnny couldn't take out the 141, and on this occasion he was correct.
80. Sure to require 32. Game shown on the first leg.
Double 16 for 16 for Stuart White to take the lead by a leg to nil. Solid start from the Rhino.
Tidy enough, isn't it?
Johnny to throw first. Game on. $100.
Andy Jenkins, who's got a running average tonight of close to 90, and after 2 cycles of matches, he's the only player without a point. Winner of this one will be topping the table midway.
We can tell that's the case because the practice room next door is quite quiet.
Yeah, no one's saying too much in there, are they?
If it was the other way round, I think we would have heard 1 or 2 things said.
50.
Old school pro is Andy. Likes to let the opponents know when he's playing well. He is playing well, he's just not got the results.
190.
Like that, 105 Super Series at 180s.
60. Johnny require 121.
Doesn't have to go for if he doesn't want to.
Yeah, could have gone ball first.
57.
And the reason I say that, because now he's going to have to hit a treble to get 2 darts at a double. If he'd have gone ball first, and then even if he'd have hit just 2 single 20s, say he picked up a 25, 2 single 20s,
58.
would have put him on 56. 64. Meaning it was just a big single to get 2 at a double. As it is, he's found the treble. And he's found the double. And that's a beautiful little response. A 14 dart hold. Both players hitting a 180 in their winning legs.
Game on.
I like Johnny Haynes' reaction, just a little nod as to, yeah, I hit that. Nothing too robust.
100.
Just a little acknowledgement of what he did in that leg. He's very much one of those, isn't he? He just gets up and gets on with the game.
100.
And when he plays to a standard. 105 the average, his second max of the game.
85. $140.
5 deep into the 9. We just kept quiet for a second in the commentary box. We didn't want to Jonah Johnny.
41.
Yeah, jinxie. In a strong position here to get a breaker throw. A breaker throw he would need at some point in this match.
100.
This is a full visit leg, Johnny Haynes. 81 is what he wants.
81.
Averaging 107.5 at this current moment in time. Went for the bull first. 61 left. His opponent on 154. He went for the 11 but missed the big number.
Well, there was a case to stay there, really. The 25, the left, the 36, and he likes that area of the board. Another one of those leaves tops.
Oh, that would be a sickener for Johnny Haynes. That was stupendous on Stuart White. A 154.
Fourth leg, Johnny.
When Johnny Haynes looked like all but the victor in that particular leg.
Another indication of the quality
55.
of Stuart White. Despite being bombarded by big scores from Johnny Haynes.
100.
And also consider the scenario. His throw is under the severest of threat. Johnny Haynes is making a rampage against it. He's managed to keep hold of it.
100.
Because you got the sense that Johnny Haynes did accrue that break, did open up a 2-1 lead. He was going to make further strides forward. But you cannot keep this man
60.
down for long. When he needs to come up clutch, he finds a way.
100.
Yeah, and that's very much the style of his play, isn't it? Something that he's repeatedly done throughout the week.
60.
Well, it's been a while since we've seen a Johnny Haynes max.
100.
3 tons on the spin, leaving himself on 146 and in control of this leg with the darts. And he's going to get 6 on this point to
43. Johnny
level us back up at 2 apiece.
86.
He should get 2 darts at tops. We haven't seen a dart missed at doubles so far in this game. Stuart White 2 from 2. Johnny Haynes 1 from 1.
96. Johnny requires 60. 20. Stuart to require 142.
Surely can't pull out another big finish. Oh, he could stay there. Don't blame him. It was a great dart. And he has back-to-back big ton plus outs. 154 followed by a 142. 3 out of 3 on the doubles.
And Johnny Haynes must feel as sick as a chip. A couple of darts in his hand to level up at 2 apiece. Doesn't go. And for the second leg in succession, he sees his opponent come to the board and hit him with a haymaker blow. That time a 142. The previous leg a 154. We are learning a lot about the minerals of Stuart White here.
Well, leg three,
100.
Johnny Haynes has got 81, and with Stuart back on 154, we're thinking, right, here comes the breaker throw, and here comes Johnny about to control the match. And
55.
in a blink of an eye, he finds himself 3-1 down and trying to stay in the contest.
60. $95.
That first dart is sat so nicely for Johnny.
140.
Expecting a third max.
$60.
He's in front on this leg, but on the back of the last couple, he is not going to feel safe whatsoever. He'll only feel safe when it's in his leisure.
93.
He's himself on 108 after 12.
$96. Johnny require 100.
He's going to get 6 from here, Johnny Haynes, to accrue the break back and to bring it back to 3-2. He's going to get 1 dart in his hand for the Shanghai on the 18s. He only needs the 1 in his hand, and the last 3 legs have all been won with ton plus checkouts. This time Johnny Haynes joining that prestigious club with a 108 to bring it back to 3-2. And looking to kick on.
95.
Another absolutely rock-solid performance from Johnny Haynes. He's up round the 96 average.
180.
The standard just continues to get better. And we get to a point, if we carry on in this vein, we're talking about one
60.
of the great Group B nights at the Super Series. Max followed by 140 as Stuart White is racing towards the finishing line in this game.
$95.
6 on 181 to get the job done. And to make it 2 wins from 2.
$145.
And he could do it with a 10-dart leg. 2 clutch ton plus finishes in the middle of the match has set him fair to put himself in this position.
George require 36.
Double 18. We'll see him get over the line with a 10-dart leg. Stuart White is playing some stupendous darts this evening, and he is just opposed of Johnny Haynes by 4 legs to 2. A high standard match, 92 and 94, the averages respectively. And have a look at that, 4 from 4 when it's come to the finishing. 2 ton plus checkouts, back-to-back legs. Those ton plus checkouts came in as well for Stuart White, and a 4-2 success against Johnny Haynes. That's the midway point of our evening. Coming up after the break, Andy Jenkins up against Matt Dennant.
Welcome back to... Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly.
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
Every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code.
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the MODUS Super Series very soon. Welcome back to the MODUS Super Series, where Stuart White has just put in an incredible performance, in particular on the outer ring, to claim a 4-2 victory over Johnny Haynes. The overall standard tonight, though, very, very impressive indeed. Who stood out for you?
Well, that performance there, winning the match with a 10-darter against one of the big favourites to go on and qualify out this group was some performance. We had 3 consecutive ton-plus finishes, the 1-5-4 backed up with a 1-4-2 from Stuart White, but everybody's contributed tonight in some way, shape or form. And
incredibly, he was such a huge outsider, wasn't he, coming into today's play? Maybe going under the radar somewhat, despite what he did in Group A. Yeah, and I think because he was sort of never in with a shout of winning Group A, he's probably just dismissed and, like you say, gone under the radar. But we've seen glimpses, and what he does very well, he'll just hang in there, and if you give him a second bite, he tends to take it, and did so in that match. Yeah, let's remind you then of the results that we've already had this evening. Andy Jenkins will feel very hard done by, won't he? Because he's not done a great deal wrong tonight. No, he's averaging around about 90 and has failed to win each match. And Noah Cullerton finding a 1-3-7 finish, 57 tops to deny him in the deciding leg. And, well, it was darting deja vu against Johnny Haynes, who found tops to defeat him again 4-3. But at the moment, it's Stuart White who looks the most impressive. He's the only player that's unbeaten from the whole group, and he's put himself in a good position. And crucial that Andy Jenkins gets a victory in this next match against Matt Dennett. Yeah, I think minimum you've got to pick up 2 wins in your 4 matches on the opening night in Group B. A reminder then of how things stand in the league table. Let's have a little look at that before we tuck into our next match. And as Mace said, Stuart White out in front, having won both of his matches so far. Matt Dennett, because of his superior leg difference, currently in second place. Andy Jenkins looking for that first victory, but his performance levels have been very impressive indeed. Let's tuck into this next match then. It is, as I mentioned, Jenks against Dennett, and hand back to Henry Deacon.
Thank you very much, Abby. What a night we've seen so far under the roof of the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And what more darting delights are we going to see in our final 5 games? It was been a marathon day here at the MODUS Super Series. 25 games being completed on a tungsten Thursday, filled with drama, filled with brilliant arrows. And then we'll do it all again tomorrow. Just a reminder of the timings, 1 o'clock on the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel for the beginning of Group C. We'll then conclude the action from 3 o'clock on Sporty Stuff TV. And then we'll be back in this time slot for the conclusion of Group B, 10 p.m. tomorrow. And then the final 7:30 on Saturday night on Sporty Stuff TV and on the Super Series YouTube channel. But it's Dennett against Jenkins, game number 6.
Game on.
Andy McNamara has had a lot of darts to referee tonight. The first 3 games all going the distance.
95.
We have enjoyed every single one of them. There's only been 1 average out of the 10 recorded underneath the 80 range. Matt Dennett kicking off with some aplomb. Kicking off with a max. In fact, Dennett this evening averages of 90.14, 93.94. And carrying on, a perfect start to the match. Well, he was anyway.
100. 140.
That was some end to the match there from Stuart White. Best leg we've seen this week, the 10.
And you require 100.
He had a 9 today, of course, from Jeremy Fagg. Jenks can't get the 170.
40.
Is that the 4
Match require
visits and under range?
128.
Double 20. The bullseye for Denon.
103.
Not to
Andy
be this
require
time.
130.
Jenkins may well end up there.
No, that's awkward. Oh, what a dart. Not a bad one at the ball.
Leg,
Andy Jenkins pops in the 130 for a 15-dart
Second
hold.
leg mat to throw first. Game on.
And the standard continues.
45.
Certainly darts to enjoy having a cold one tonight.
42.
Just had a funny moment. I walked through the players' room from the balcony and just congratulated
35.
Stuart White on a good performance, and himself and Johnny Clayton, and just having a chat about the match. And he said, well, I don't get an unlucky then. There wasn't
30.
too much unlucky about that. In fact, pretty much nothing you could do about the final leg of the match.
100.
I mean, there is. We're being hypercritical.
Yeah, we see them all the time, don't we?
38.
Well, no, because they're statistically harder than a 147.
140.
Unless you're Sean Murphy, of course.
58.
Then they're a piece of toast.
Don't worry, folks. We've got 4 more games after this.
89. $134. Match require 92.
Double 16.
Going to get any
Game on the second
easier
leg,
this
Matt
evening
Jones.
for Andy, because his final match of the session is against Stuart White,
Leg
who
Andy to throw first.
is in fine
on.
form. Unbeaten so far this evening.
36. $58. $100.
I have a feeling in this match that tons are going to be quite enough. Just drops the dart.
60.
Almost does a Gezi. Slams it in the red bit.
Usually say doing a Gezi is a good thing. Mind you, he was mightily
97.
unlucky in that game against Michael earlier on this evening. Congratulations to MVG for picking up a record-breaking 7th Premier League crown, beating Gerwyn Price 11-5 in the final at the O2 Arena in London earlier on this evening.
It's a big crowd in as well.
98.
Yeah, picking up a cool cheque for £275,000 plus the 30,000, of course. So
170.
a decent campaign, £305,000 in total.
Slightly less than your day rate, mate, isn't it?
105. Match require 158.
I have to work a whole year to earn that.
60. Andy requires 65.
25 for tops.
Game
Double
on the
£10
third
for
leg,
Jenkins.
Andy
2-1 it
Jenkins.
is to Rocky. And despite the superior scoring of the Scholar, 2
Fourth
from
leg match
3
to
on the outer ring for
Rovers.
Jenkins
Game on.
means he's the man in front.
Yeah, it's a must-win game for Andy.
45.
Can it add a little bit of pressure on Andy? Because we speak a lot about him being the local player. if he gets through, he's going to have a big crowd here on Saturday night. Can that just heighten expectations from his perspective?
Absolutely.
95. $58. 100. 96.
'Could do with another. Pick off the treble 19.
Match require 122.
Just what he needed.
It's going to be one dial of the bullseye, not far away from Denon.
73.
Well, the way Andy's night had gone, he's probably expecting that to go in. That leaves 52.
So choices, choices, choices. And the choice is going to be double 16.
41. Match require
Not to be. And so Dennett returns to a level game. 2 at double 8. Only needs the 1 to level us up at 2 legs apiece.
Everything going with throw so
Fifth
far.
leg Andy to throw first. Game on.
And he will,
99.
of course, hope that trend continues.
$54.
Maximum he can get tonight now from this point, Andy Jenkins, is 4, which is around about what we like to call the par for the course in a Group B campaign.
100.
Well, anything less than that, and you can often leave yourself a little bit too much to do, especially with a
100.
field of this quality. And we've seen plenty of it on offer so far this evening.
140.
Now Jenkins there, following the first 2 treble 20s, should have
84.
moved across to the 18s. Should have started on the 18s. Well, no matter what happens here, it's a perfect setup.
130.
The 130 leads him on 32 after 12. Set himself fair for 3-2 lead.
139. And you require 32. Game on the fifth
Well,
leg.
the way his
Andy
night
Jenkins.
has been going, he didn't want to be giving Matty a go at the 1-2-4 and doesn't. With
Six
a
leg Matt
15
to
dart
throw first.
third
Game on.
hold of throw. Second 15 darter of the match.
96.
So we'll see you in a couple of legs' time, and Andy Jenkins wins 4-3 for 15 data.
85.
Approaching the midnight hour on a marathon day of Super Series darts.
58.
It began with Conan Whitehead running riot in Group C, winning all 5 games. He's on the cusp of qualification there.
58.
Yeah, he's well in control of Group C.
$57.
And through the card today, unbeaten, 5 from 5.
100.
It wasn't just the fact he went through the card, it was the dominance in which he went through the card. There's one average below 90 for the entirety of the day.
100.
One left here for Jenkins. Just considering it, his options.
96.
A miscount.
100.
Dennant leaves himself on 90 following that ton, so he should, all things being square, get Mr. Dart at the bull.
65. Match require 90.
Double 20 for double 15, but he goes inside with the second dart.
And he requires
So Jenkins is going to get his match-winning chance at 97 to claim what would be a first victory of the evening for him.
Needed the
57.
54 for 24.
Match require 8.
So he's going to have to rely on Dennant missing,
Game
which
shot of
isn't
6
going to
leg,
happen.
Matt Dennant.
We've been here before. Jenks has been here before, but to no success so far tonight. 2-4-3 defeat to Niall Cullerton and Johnny Haynes, respectively. If he
140.
has the same fate for a third game in succession, well, his chances of qualifying for a Saturday night final in front of his home crowd here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth will
100.
begin to wane somewhat.
$96.
Holding it together well here.
Rocky is on the canvas in terms of the group,
44.
but he has come out swinging in this last leg decider.
55.
He's just given Dennant an opportunity to get back in the leg.
100.
Opportunity not seized upon, and so it's 6 from 210 for Jenkins to a first win of the night.
134.
That 1-3-4 setup leads himself on 76. We get a dart at double. Get the job done in the space of 15 in the decider. He
76.
effectively meant that Dennant's had to provide something special in the last leg. Double 8
Game,
for Andy
shot,
Jenkins
and
to
a
win it
match,
in the space of
Andy
14
Jenkins.
darts, and the celebration says it all because he's been on the receiving end of some special performances tonight, has Rocky, but this time in a last leg decider it was a case of third time lucky. An 88.25 average, 4 out of 8 on the doubles, and a 130 finish to boot. Andy Jenkins is in the winners enclosure in Group B. Coming up after the break, it is Niall Cullerton up against Stuart White.
Niall Cullerton and Stuart White back in action next. White, the only player still unbeaten tonight, and he treated us to a fine finish in display last time out, didn't he? A 1-4-2 and a 1-5-4 in that match before getting over the line with a 10-dart leg. This, the fourth day of action for these two. So when we have a little look at their numbers from Group A, we certainly know that Cullerton has higher gears than that, and White has certainly shown tonight that he does too. So then let's find out which way this one will go in the company of our commentators.
Thanks, Abby. Well, we can certainly see that Stuart White has raised his levels in this Group B after his Group A campaign. Tonight, he's averaged 86.84 and 92.13 and 5 180s in the process. And 8 from 14 on the doubles, including that 4 out of 4. Perfect finishing in
First leg, Niall
his
to
match
throw first.
against Johnny Haynes.
Game on.
Well, we'd like to give you a little bit of value here at the Super Series, and before the off, Stuart White has gone off as a 6-4 outsider. But if you look at the performances of the players in their
100.
previous round of fixtures, well, there was a 14-point swing in the averages in the favour of Stuart White, a 92.13 in that 4-2 success against Johnny Haynes, helped massively by those 4 from 4 on the doubles. Niall Cullerton in a 4-0 defeat to Nat Denham averaged 78.1, and that was pretty much a scoring average because he only had 1 dart at double.
97.
He was 7-4, so it's been nibbled at, and rightly so.
125. 100.
From Banbury, not the furthest way away to get a couple of people down if he qualifies for Saturday night.
Well, he's on
46.
course to do so, especially if he can manufacture a win here against Niall Cullerton.
140.
The table is compacted. It's just Stuart White on 4. The other 4 players all on 2 points, only separated by leg difference.
45. Neither requires 64.
Well, a win here for Stuart. He pretty much gets the job done for the evening from his perspective. 8 for tops. For the opening leg in 15 for Niall Cullerton. And that's a much improvement from what we've seen for him during the large sways of the evening session. It's been a little bit of a struggle for the Irishman, but maybe that is just a catalyst. Maybe that's just a spark.
Again, he can pick up a win himself here. He's almost halfway through to qualification. Normally 8 points is enough to see you through in a Group B.
85.
Although we do have that scenario in Group B where all the players can be deadlocked on 8 points. We haven't had that scenario yet. I'm sure one day we're going to have that scenario. The law of averages suggests that.
Yeah, absolutely.
180.
He's found another level here.
82.
Well, it's a completely different man to the one that faced Matt Denham a couple of games ago. It's averaging 110, and it's going to go into excess now.
135. 85. Now you require 101.
For the breaker throw and a 2-0 lead. And the bullseye route. 25 left, so double 15 would leave him top. So Stuart White 113. Well, he's been the king of the ton toppers, hasn't he, tonight? 2 in that 4-2 success against Johnny Haynes.
He's made Niall Cullerton made a bit of a mess of the 101, but Stuart White has done similar there, hitting a 1 with his opening dart.
Not really cleaned it up. Cullerton back for 70 with a 2-0 lead. The breaker throw. It's going to be 1 dart at tops.
50.
just underneath, and so Stuart White returns a 77 to level us up.
77.
This is something he's been very, very good at this week. Put the mockers on that.
Level 14.
He's miscounted.
37. All you require,
Well, he's
20.
got there in the end, but he may not get the opportunity to take out the tops if Cullerton can fire the double 5. And fire it he will, and fire into a 2-0 lead.
Very nearly straight into the 15 with his opening dart double 10.
Third leg Niall to throw first. Game on. $100. $100. $60.
Still 3 matches to bring you at the conclusion of this tie. Denon against Haynes. White against Jenkins. Haynes against Cullerton.
60.
And then we do it all again tomorrow.
Yeah, we will, by this time tomorrow night, pretty much know our...
96.
We'll be very close to knowing our lineup for Saturday night.
$100.
You can join us. Scan that QR code, sends you to dartshop.tv. Tickets available for all weeks in this phase. And you can see some top quality darts a little bit like that.
$100. Juror 32.
Well, it was a slow start to this game for Stuart White. But can he fire back for 15 if he can find double 8? And he's had 3 chances that's come and gone to reduce the deficit in half. And so Cullerton here for 3-0 lead is going to get a dart of the bullseye to do exactly that.
56.
Not far away,
but
not in the target. And so double 4 for the break. The 2-1.
$6.
And that's 2 visits worth of doubles that have come and gone for Stuart White in this leg.
None from 6. Unlike Stuart White, who last time out was 4 out of 4, but it's Niall who takes advantage. Leads 3-0.
Fourth leg, Stuart to throw first.
Much an improvement from that game against Denon. Well, both players have actually gone in opposite directions from their previous showings.
$44.
Here, Win would put him on to 4 points, and if he can do it to the margin of nil, he'd actually have a plus legs difference as well, a +1. Only Matt Denon and Stuart White do.
He'll go from last to third.
100.
And also, importantly, in the case of Stuart White, it'd go the other way round. So he'd go from +3 legs difference to -1. And so actually, now Cullerton could put himself in a position where he goes from the bottom of the table to the top of the table if he won 4-0.
96.
Yeah, correct. Started from the bottom, now we're here.
Best not repeat the rest of that song, even if it is midnight.
190.
Pops in his second match, max of the match.
And after Midnight, Stuart White with a bit of a howler.
155.
155 to get the job done. To be on this occasion. We're going to set it up. White back on 161. They have to go.
Treble 18 is the shot here. 77 leaves 78.
81. George O'Hare,
Just took
161.
too long over that.
Well, we've seen him do this a few times tonight. And that would have been the most clutch finish of the lot.
122.
But he's got the next prize of
O'Hare, 74.
setting up as Cullerton returns to 74 for a 4-0 success. It's going to be a dart at tops.
54.
Dragged low. And so Stuart White returns to
George
39.
O'Hare, 39.
Two 16s. Has to move across. Has to readjust.
7.
Great effort
Nadia O'Hare, 20.
to get the job done. 4-0.
Shot and the match.
That's exactly
Niall
what
Cullerton.
Niall Cullerton has achieved. An average of 87.13, putting 9 points on his average from his previous performance. 4 out of 9 on the doubles. A couple of 180s in there as well. And he does go from bottom of the table right to the very top. When we come back after a short break, Matt Dennen faces off against Johnny Haynes.
3 more matches to go then. Matt Dennant and Johnny Haynes up next. They have met once before. That was in a Players' Championship event just over 7 years ago. Dennant the victor on that occasion. To find out which of these two will move on to 4 points in the table this week, let's get back to Mace and H.
Well, thank you very much, Abby. And we have been treated to a scintillating night of arrows here. And, well, these two have certainly provided some blockbusters for us. Matt Dennant will round off his night here this evening. And in terms of his games, a 90 average, a 93, an 88 and a half. But for all of his efforts so far this evening, he only finds himself on 2 points.
Yeah, out of all those good performances, it's just the one win so far. And he will be looking to change that here.
First leg, Matt, to throw first.
Strap yourselves in, because I think this is going to be a little bit good.
Yeah, it has a potential to be a bit of a barnstormer.
77.
Johnny Haynes will still have one to play. He'll be involved in our final match against a resurgent
41.
Niall Cullerton.
This has the feeling of a very nice crescendo to our action.
77.
Well, the tempo of play will suit both, you would think. They both get on with it.
137. 140.
You'd expect as well, it might be one of those games, even though the first leg hasn't really represented it, be one of those games where the 180 markets may be one of interest to real big, prolific treble
100.
hitters.
Yeah, both love a max. One of these two be getting the max win on Saturday night. Winner taking away 5,000, a place in Champions Week, where they will be vying for the £20,000 first prize.
Match require 107.
And a place in the Hall of Fame. 6 from 107 for Matt Dennant to get the opening leg in his leisure.
75.
Misses out on the Fat 18, but wasn't to matter on this occasion. Leaves himself 32. It's going to be under some severe pressure. The severest of pressure. It was must-hit territory for Matt Dennant, and that was exactly what he did. First time of asking. 16 dart leg, and he leads Johnny Haynes by a leg to nil.
Second leg, Johnny to throw first. Game on.
Haynes a part of that prolific Swindon dart circuit.
80.
Josh McCarthy, another Super Series regular.
Dennis Smith, of course, and would have played a lot of darts back in the day with
57.
Bob Anderson.
Your final TV tournament for Bob at the World Seniors Masters.
100.
The last winner of the News of the World in its old guys, Paul Cook.
140.
Mark Thompson, another player
100.
playing in World Championships. Another fella from the same area.
80.
80 floor.
Untimely bounce out.
60.
Wave of the arm in the air from Haynes, disgusted with that visit. It's opened up the door for Dennant to get the break of throw and open up a 2-0 lead.
100. Johnny
Well, he's just moved it ajar, leaving himself on 1-2-4. But can Haynes find a rip-roaring finish here? Not to be this time. And so Dennant back for the 1-2-4. Double up his lead. Triple 18. Bullseye.
83. Johnny require 102.
Way off for him.
94. Match require 41.
Double 16 for 2-zip. Can he use that?
Game on the
Beautiful
second leg,
dart.
Matt Dennant.
Matty Dennant with a break of throw. Doubles his lead.
And you'd feel upon the flexion of play that
Third leg, Matt to
4
throw
points
first.
is at the very least
Game
a
on.
fair enough reflection of the level that Matt Dennant's put in tonight. In fact, in any other group, he would probably have completely and utterly dominated it.
93.
Well, as did Conan Whitehead today with similar numbers.
All vying to join Neil Duff in the final on Saturday evening. He booked his
137.
place courtesy of a victory in Group A.
And he was fairly dominant in the end, wasn't he?
60.
Did what he needed to do and stepped up at the right times, did Neil Duff. And he's got his eyes set on this title. It's the one thing kind of
55.
missing from his glittering resume is a weekly title at the Super Series. He's had so many near misses in the past. Couple of final defeats.
100.
Going to go one better. One of the final defeats was
81.
against that man in your picture, Johnny Haynes, week 11 of Series 2.
Never in doubt, that. After dart 1.
You could have fitted them on a pinhead.
100. Match requires 68.
Double 4.
Game on the third
This is
leg,
masterful for Matt Dennant. 3-0 he leads. 92 average, 50% when it's come to the doubling.
Fourth leg, Johnny to throw first.
Johnny Haynes, despite averaging close to 90, yet to have a dart at a double.
100. $140.
Third 140 for Dennant. Surprisingly enough,
99.
not seen a 140 or more from Johnny Haynes in this game yet.
Oh, he's just lost his way in the scoring stakes at the moment.
He's still got one more game to play after this. He will play in the last game of the evening against Niall Cullerton.
140.
He's just beaten Stuart White by 4-0. Looks as if we could well be on the cusp of a second straight 4-0 victory, because Matt Dennant here is making huge inroads on the 2-6-1, leave himself a 1-2-1 on the back of the 140, and Haynes is looking to set up.
105. Match require 100.
Do a job.
Yeah, leaves himself a 2-darter. Ball for the match.
96. Johnny require
Raise the wire.
57.
Johnny Haynes then should get 2 darts at tops to pull a leg back to keep himself in the hunt. Double 10.
Game Johnny
Clutch.
leg, Johnny Haynes.
Last dart in hand. Double 10 from Johnny Haynes to bring it back to 3-1. But this is a leg as far as Matt Dennant is concerned. This is the one he has the darts in.
Fifth leg, Matt to throw first. Game on.
One at ball. For a 4-0 win. And a poor start to
43.
this leg.
We know how the Super Series, how quickly things can change.
100. $58.
2 troublous visits. Offered up the darts to Johnny Haynes, who has taken it with both hands.
122.
You don't give this man opportunities. Oh, what a time for Max.
190.
Put those troublous visits right with 3 of them in one visit. His second max.
26.
He's effectively played himself back into the leg. And a head in the leg. This could be... Oh, that's unlucky.
120.
That's mighty unlucky because that looked like it was going to be back-to-back 180s, which would have left himself on tops after 12 to win the match.
60. Match require 100.
Tunnel do to get the job done, and he's got 6 from here to do it. He may only need the 2. Double 10.
Game,
It's good for
shot,
Dennant, and it means that he's going to finish off the session on 4 points, which means he's well in the race now for qualification for Saturday night's finals. A really, really impressive performance to finish, a 97.89. He saved his best until last, Matt Dennant. It was a really, really good night for him, and it has ended with a victory. Johnny Haynes will come back for the final game against Niall Cullerton, but after the break, it's Stuart White against Andy Jenkins.
Every Saturday, we open our doors for our weekly finals night.
For a unique and intimate darts experience.
Meet the Dart Stars and even the team off the telly
Here at our purpose-built venue in Portsmouth.
every single Saturday evening.
Tickets can be booked via this QR code.
Or at www.dartshop.tv for a very small booking fee.
Follow us at MSS Darts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and TikTok.
For all the latest ticketing news.
All you need to do, log on, book, turn up, and the action gets underway from 7:30 p.m.
So what are you waiting for?
Get your tickets to the darts.
We look forward to welcoming you to the MODUS Super Series very soon. Our penultimate match of the session then sees Stuart White take on Andy Jenkins. White has delivered one of the standout performances this evening, but suffered a whitewash defeat last time out. So looking to respond here against Jenks, whose level has been pretty consistent tonight. He'll feel he deserves to end the night on 4 points. To see whether he can do just that, let's get straight back to our commentary team.
Thank you very much, Abby. Well, yeah, his performances have been really good this evening. We were just running the rule in the commentary box during that commercial break. 88, 90 and 88 his averages this evening. So we kind of feel like we know the level Jenkins is going to play at. Wise for Stuart White, started off with 2 victories, 86 and 92 averages, played superbly against Johnny Haynes. But in that last game against Niall Cullerton, we just saw a little bit of a drop-off, 79.14. We're willing to give him the benefit of the doubt, but it could become an issue if he gets off to a slow start here against Jenkins.
First leg, Stuart to throw first.
We're thinking whether
Game on.
is fatigue going to play its part. It's been a long week for him. Of course, he played 15 matches already this week in Group A.
59.
And also should caveat the fact as well, it is his debut, so he wouldn't have been used to the extremities of this format.
59.
No, I can't see him ever have been playing this many matches in consecutive days. Take it all back.
190.
However, some would argue that the break from Wednesday afternoon in Group A and Thursday night in Group B, around about 36 hours, means that you can fully refresh and recharge.
Yeah, but then you've got the other side of the coin of how long you've been awake before you're starting to play, and it's now half past midnight.
39.
Can't recall too many times I've played at that time of night, apart from here.
100.
Love a bit of devil's advocate.
But there's pros and cons with both.
60. George Roy, 81.
It's got to be your job as a player to eke out as many positives as you possibly can. PMA, as they say.
Glass half full.
Game shot of the first
Leg is fully in the leisure. Stuart
White.
White, 15 data, 81 checkout. Lead Andy Jenkins 1-0.
Well,
Second
the
leg, Andy
reason
to
we were
throw first.
discussing it because it
Game on.
was just a drop-off in levels, and we're always looking for a reason.
Yeah, we like to have a real crunch of the
40.
numbers before every single game, and we try and use that as a potential guide as to what we may see in every game. Doesn't always work out that way because sport isn't played on paper, but sometimes
41.
you can get a real good gauge as to where somebody is at. We don't get many wrong, do we?
55.
How is Aces Aka doing this week?
Okay. If you were backing singles,
86.
So better than does his tips then.
he had a bit of a shocker the other week, didn't he?
Well, he wasn't that good.
41.
He's out in Sindelfingen this weekend, commentating on the Euro Tour.
Yeah, is that his debut on the Euro Tour in the commentary role?
137.
Outside Dan and Murph.
96.
And Charlie Courtefine's going to be officiating as well.
40.
A couple of Euro Tours last year. His first of 2023.
60.
There's going to be some running repairs for Jenks as he's broken the back of the stem. He has those protectors, doesn't he, on the top of the flight.
Already has one made up in his pocket, so it's just a quick switch over it.
115.
Pit stop quicker than that of the Red Bull.
45. George Roy, 82.
Monaco Grand Prix this weekend.
Oh, do like that one.
10. Stuart White would have liked that.
164.
Well, it's not quite the beauty of Monaco, but it will feel just as luxurious for Andy Jenkins if he can take out the 164, not to be. And so Stuart White is back for
20.
double 10 for the breaker throw and a 2-0 lead.
Well, it's time for the levels of Andy Jenkins to drop off this time around. It was Stuart White last time out. At the moment, Stuart White is averaging 88.41, and it's Stuart White's throw.
Third leg Stuart to throw first.
Trying to get every advantage is Jenks.
If Jenks is able to come back and win this game 4-2, we have the scenario on again where every player at the end of night 1 could be log jammed on 4 points, because Jenkins will move on to 4. If Johnny Haynes could beat Niall Cullerton, we'll have all 5 players on 4 points, and we're going to have to buy a new abacus.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
I mean that we will be
39.
jotting down extra notes as to the table permutations.
140. $24. 100. 60.
Now Stuart White's just dropped off a little bit, and it's opened up the door here for Andy Jenkins.
105.
That's to a finish on 98.
Plenty of time on his side.
51. Andy Roy, 98. $58.
Tops upon his return with White all the way back on 2-3-1 after 15. It's been a below par leg for the Rhino.
100. Andy Roy, 40.
Double 10. Now 5s.
35. George Roy, 131.
Been a theme of his play this evening. Not this time.
97. Andy Roy, 5.
So to half the arrears and to half the deficit is 2, down at 2s, but he only needs the 1.
Andy Jenkins.
You get that break back and to return the game to throw and to half the deficit to 2-1. What a vintage leg,
Leg Andy to
but one in the leisure
first.
nonetheless.
Game on.
Oh, just give him hope in the match.
Just something to draw upon.
100.
And if anyone's going to deal with brinksmanship, it's going to be Andy Jenkins.
45. 45. $83. 100. 59.
Feels like a game just meandering a little bit. That's
60.
unlucky. It's another bounce out for Jenkins. Feels like a game where the sting's just been taken out of it a little bit.
And both players maybe feeling the pace.
58.
Been a tough night, and Andy, of course, has prior to this played 3 matches with a possible 21 legs of play, and he's played all of them.
100.
He's now into his 25th leg of the night.
Not unlike Jenks to not try and give us value for money, is it?
76. And you require 96. $36.
Another one of them.
100. And you
Even the
require
80
60.
provides severe pressure here for Jenkins, who's looking to level things up at 2 apiece if he can find tops. Now double 10.
Game
And
on
it
the
goes.
floor,
Clutch last
Andy
dart in hand for
Jenkins.
Jenkins, and he's back to 2-2.
Yeah, levels things up.
Fifth leg Stewart to throw first. Game on.
Not the last time you'll hear that phrase.
No, I just get the odd text message or voice note from time to time
81.
from Andy stating that very fact. He is back.
100. $134.
Question we'll find out on Saturday night is who's going to be back for Champions Week.
140.
7:30 the action gets underway on the Super Series YouTube channel, 10 o'clock on Sporty Stuff TV, and you can be a part of the action by scanning that QR code to... Well, every time we show this QR code, there's been a max. I'll tell you what we're going to do. I was going to say keep the QR code up. It's not working, is it?
85.
Okay, we'll get rid of it now because Stuart White wants 106 for 3-2. He's going to get 6 from here.
$73.
93 upon his return.
11 one of those to pressure the
100.
33, only a ton.
Would require 33.
216 for 3-2.
Game from the fifth leg. Stuart
14
White.
dart leg for Stuart White to put his nose in front again.
Six leg Andy
Responded
to
well after
throw
a
first.
disappointing
Game
couple
on.
of legs.
I do have a question to raise about Stuart White's shirt.
137.
Is that an arm on a rhino? I'm not going delirious because it's nearly 20 to 1 in the morning, but I'm sure
96.
that rhino has got an arm on it. Is that a hand?
100.
We'll have a closer look.
60.
Yeah, it's a big muscly arm.
Why has the rhino got a hand?
97.
I'm just jealous it's got more muscles than I have.
45.
So's my missus.
And you require 167. 45.
Jenks is making heavy weather of that. Still a long, long way in front. Needs another treble to leave a finish.
100.
So still
and
6
you
at
require
122.
122.
Didn't have to attack the finish with White all the way
90.
back on 200, but he's going to set himself up deliciously for double 16.
Yeah, casually just picks off the ball.
However,
121. Andy
Wow.
Roy, 32.
It's some pressure.
Nearly
James on the 6th leg.
under a
Andy
world of
Jenkins.
pressure, but Jenks, for the 4th time tonight, goes into a 7th and final
7th
leg.
and final leg, Stuart.
And somebody told him he was not getting paid by the
Game
leg.
140.
140 to start, putting Jenkins under it right from the get-go.
60.
And he comes up dry. It's full advantage Stuart White in this deciding leg.
His strike rate in last leggers are
54.
at a negative. Played 3, 1-1.
60.
The only thing I will say for Andy Jenkins going into tomorrow is because he's kept everything tight tonight, if he can win a couple of games
82.
big tomorrow, his legs difference would be a massive help because the games he's lost 4-3.
45.
He'll win his game 4-3, but if he can make a spurt tomorrow and get a couple of big wins to start, is well in the equation.
90.
Well, needs a max.
$95. Stuart Roy, 135.
6 starts for the win for Stuart White.
$60.
He stayed for the treble 20 there. Well, that is Andy Jenkins, 101.
Stuart Roy, 75.
He is never out of the race until that final dart goes in.
55.
And that, incredibly, his first max of the
Andy
night.
Roy,
What a time to get it.
61.
This is to finish with a 2-2 record for the evening. Went 25 for 36. That found the 7, so 54 left. Tops for the match for Jenkins.
21.
He knows
Roy,
that was
20.
his opportunity. Cannot see Stuart White missing double 10.
15.
He misses 10s and 5s, and he is furious.
And so Rocky is reprieved.
Andy Roy, 40.
Every single leg that he could have possibly played tonight, he has played. Double 10.
30.
And now he has missed a multitude of match darts, and the frustration
George
courses
O'Connor,
from his
5.
face. As Stuart White returns, his head's in his hands, Andy Jenkins. It's 3-1 for the Rhino
Game,
for the
shot,
win.
And, the match,
And it means that
Stuart
he's
White.
going to be on 6 points following the first day's action. Andy Jenkins had opportunities to win that game, but it's Stuart White who gets it all right on the night. A 4-3 victory against Andy Jenkins means 3 wins from 4, and he is placed in a handy position to qualify through to Saturday night's final. One more game for us, Johnny Haynes and Niall Cullerton to follow after this short break.
Our final match of the night then sees Johnny Haynes take on Niall Cullerton. Haynes, of course, one of the favourites to finish top of Group B, but he's another player who'll be very happy with his level this evening, but not so much the results. Just the one win to his name so far. Can he add to that here? To guide you through all the action in this one, let's get back to Mace and H.
Thank you very much, Abby. Well, we've enjoyed a fantastic evening session, and it comes to a close. It comes to a crescendo with this battle between Johnny Haynes and Niall Cullerton, and a crucial one in terms of the league table. The win for Johnny Haynes, and it would mean that we've got 3 players in the middle of the group sandwiched on 4 points. Stuart White at the top on 6 points following his opening night's exploits. But it says a lot about the evening's action that he's top of the table, but his leg difference is 0. That's how evenly weighted this group has been.
Yeah, he's dodged a few bullets here and there, and he's got it done.
First leg, Johnny, to
one defeat for
Game on.
Stuart this evening, and it was a real off-colour performance. We picked up on that
140
against Niall, where he averaged 79, and he's repeated that level of play against Andy Jenkins, but it was somehow enough.
81.
That was a disappointing result last time out against a very good Matt Dennant for Johnny Haynes.
60.
Matty Dennant averaging the highest average of the night so far, 97.89. Johnny beaten 4-1 with an 89.17.
59.
Well, talk about players running into one. Johnny Hayes, 94.67 against Stuart White, loses. Beats Jenks with an 89.95, and as you say, ran into that Matt Dennant performance.
Are we getting a reaction?
95.
Was it Diana Ross who said chain reaction?
Of course, it was against Johnny, where he walked into that 6th leg 10-darter from Stuart White.
96.
And
Johnny
in fact,
O'Connor,
nearly went one
65.
fewer than that earlier on this afternoon. Missed the double 12 for the 9. 11 for Johnny. That means should have been 14 and toss, but that's a miss of the big number. He squares it up if he returns, because Cullerton is looking for the fish. Looking for the fish. But he's not going to reel it in on this occasion.
100. Johnny O'Connor, 40.
So Tots for Haynes.
Game shot of the first
A
leg.
1-0 lead,
Johnny
16
Haynes.
dart leg.
Certainly efficient
Second
enough
leg,
there.
Niall to throw first. Game on.
You said that you thought there may possibly be a reaction from the punk in this one. Well, that early indication is
76.
something of that scale and magnitude.
He currently finds himself at the foot of the table, Johnny Haynes, despite playing some
140.
super stuff tonight. A big win here, and he will trade places with Cullerton and go from 5th to
41.
3rd. And Cullerton will go in to 4th. Andy Jenkins somehow end up
41.
demoted to the bottom of the table.
We should say it's a sort of league table that could completely turn on its head tomorrow.
121. $140.
2-1-40, sounds in the middle of 41 for Johnny Haynes.
95.
He's going to get 6 on this 180 with Cullerton on a bogey on 168.
Andy has
60.
lost 15 legs and won 13 tonight, and finds himself with just 2 points.
140. Johnny O'Connor, 120.
There's the treble. There's the single.
100. Now you require
Unlucky with the
28.
double, and so Cullerton to level up proceedings, double 14. And now sevens.
14.
Not found, and so Haynes returns to a
Johnny
2-0 lead,
require
wanting
20.
double 10.
Yeah, for back-to-back, 16 dart legs. 2. The double 4 just gets the 2.
12.
He also
Now you require
misses
14.
a trick.
No score.
Oh, I thought the second dart was in.
Johnny, you
As you
require
could see
8.
from that alternative angle. Just grazed against the
Games
wire,
on
no
the second
mistake.
leg, Johnny Haynes.
Second time of asking for Johnny Haynes. And he gets an early break, 2-0.
Third leg, Johnny to throw first.
And there is a
Game on.
conceivable scenario that because this is the 4-pointer, this is the overlap game in the group, that Johnny Haynes could begin the round of matches against Niall Colleton, bottom of the
100.
table, but win both of them, could go above Stuart White.
Yeah. Especially if he gets a big win here. He's
45.
currently on -4. Now Cullerton on 4 points plus 1.
And despite picking up the points, the legs difference could be something that
140.
could be a concern for Stuart White, because even though he's won 3 games, his legs difference is 0.
41.
And the top 3 go through.
Yeah, Johnny Haynes starting to turn the screw here on Niall Cullerton.
$100.
9 scores of a ton or more for Johnny Haynes, just 3 for Niall Cullerton.
81. Johnny require 160.
And it feels like he can win this leg at his own pace, Johnny Haynes.
$45.
Risky dart.
In a sort of position where he doesn't have to take risks in the leg.
100.
Another 6
Johnny
if he
require
wants.
116.
96 left. Trouble to the left, double 18.
60.
He likes it on that part of the board. He has such a favour for double 4.
$42. Johnny require
Still has
56.
time on his side.
Tops.
Games
3-0
on the
Johnny
third leg,
Haynes.
Johnny Haynes.
And he is a leg away from picking up a victory in his final game of the session. Averaging
Fourth leg, Niles in
86-71.
throw first.
He's
Game
played
on.
better tonight and lost. Just under 95 in that brilliant game in the middle of the session against Stuart White. 4 for 4 on the doubles, White in that one. And 2 ton plus finishes, including the highlight, 154. This may well be the conclusion of our play. This may well be the final leg of the session. So now the appropriate time just to remind you that if you are watching courtesy of the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel,
140.
the highlights of this session will be available there, as well as other bonus content. So if you do give us a subscribe, you'll have plenty of darting delights for you. And we're going to be back 1 o'clock
100.
for Group C action on the YouTube channel. And then we're going to join Sporty Stuff TV viewers from 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for the conclusion of the group. We'll have the
66.
final 9 matches live for you there. We'll also have the conclusion of this session from 10 o'clock. And then that'll be the time we'll join you for the semi-finals and final on Saturday evening. The pool stage
100.
matches will be available on the Super Series YouTube channel from 7:30, just to keep you in the picture of what's happening here for the remainder of the week.
59.
So 6 darts on 201 for Johnny Haynes to get the job done and to secure that final victory in his
97.
evening's campaign. 104 is what he wants when he returns. But under how much pressure?
100. Johnny require 104.
Lee, as you are. 84 left. Double 12 for a 4-0 success to end his night.
Not
to be this time, but this is a Hail Mary for Niall, a 106 to save the game. And it's going to be one dart at tops to save his skin. But it's not going to happen.
Johnny require 24.
And so Johnny Haynes wants double 12. And now double 6. To claim a 4-0 victory against Niall Cullerton. He's played some fantastic stuff this evening, Johnny Haynes. Hasn't always got the results that his performance may have merited, but he has found a big one at the end of his evening to dispatch of Niall Cullerton by 4-0. An 87.13 average, 4 from 9 when it came to the checkouts for Haynes, has secured victory. For Niall Cullerton, well, it was a case of a night of two halves, 2 impressive victories, but 2 defeats that will leave him stinging. But at the top of the table overnight, it is Stuart White on 6 points. It's all to play for going into tomorrow evening's session. And to round up what we have seen tonight, Chris Mason has made his way up to the balcony to have a chat with Abigail Davies.
Yeah, an incredibly intriguing night of action. Really high quality from most of the players at some point during the session. But I think it's fair to say the majority of the players will feel like they should be coming away with more. Yeah,
I think that's absolutely right, probably with the exception of Stuart White, who dodged a few bullets there against Andy Jenkins. And if anybody feel a little aggrieved at where they find themselves at the foot of the table, it would be Andy Jenkins, because he played some really top stuff tonight.
And for Stuart White, as you mentioned, because we saw that epic performance from him where he took out, we can have a look at some of his finishing in that game, the 1-4-2 to start with. And then, of course, he ended the match with a 10-dart leg as well. It was really, really sublime. But the drop-off that followed, I don't think any of us predicted that that was going to happen.
No, well, there was a 1-5-4 in that leg as well, and he actually was 4 out of 4 in the doubles, and then completely went missing, averaged 79, and I feared the worst in the match against Andy Jenkins, but he just managed to find a win. But he replicated that same average of 79, and myself and Henry just thought maybe it's a bit of fatigue. I don't think he would have played as much darts in the course of a week ever in his career.
Yeah, let's have a look at the league standings then at the halfway point in Group B. And it is Stuart White who's top of the table, having lost just the 1 game on 6 points. Matty Dennant just behind him. He really ended the night strongly, and that could be a strength going into tomorrow, because we saw quite a few players just dip in towards the end. He's got that vast experience, hasn't he?
Yeah, you normally think in Group B that 8 points is usually pretty much enough, but I think we're going to end in a bit of a bizarre scenario tomorrow. When you look at Stuart White with no legs difference, and Andy Jenkins at the bottom of the table with just -2, just 2 different, and that's been the nature of the closeness of this very competitive Group B, and everybody will still feel that they're in the mix. Remember, top 3 qualify from Group B.
Indeed, they do. So that's going to be an intriguing one that reaches its conclusion tomorrow from 10 p.m. But we return at 1 p.m. with the conclusion of Group C, where it's Conan Whitehead who currently leads the way. And we expect, don't we, that he's going to get that job done, because it didn't really look like he was going to be beaten at any stage.
No, and not really stretched at any point. He looked very comfortable in doing so, and it wouldn't surprise me if he turns up tomorrow and plays even better.
Right then, let's look forward to that one. We'll get a good night's sleep first, and we'll see you from 1 p.m. tomorrow.